What is going on, guys? We are back with another video today, and we are doing another rebuild on Madden 22, and today it is of the Chicago Bears, a team that in real life, they're still figuring things out, of course, but in Madden, I'm going to be honest with you, they're not the greatest team. A lot of people I've talked to for franchise-wise said before the Justin Fields thing would kind of agree they're basically a bottom 2, bottom 3 team in Madden. Once again, in real life, they have a pretty good squad, I suppose. But in Madden, the age and some of their ratings definitely does not reflect that. Some of the contracts as well. We'll get into that in a moment. Of course, speaking of real life, Justin Fields, not off to the greatest start. I will say the offensive line at times has, and by all at times, I mean a lot of the time, has let him down, but there was some bad decision-making from him. I will say some of the throw velocity plays, he doesn't get the ball out in there as quick as he needs to. One of their, shining spots is their ground game. David Montgomery has actually taken a really big step forward this year, and it's unfortunate he's out for a couple of weeks, but hopefully he'll be back in there for them. Allen Robinson is having a little bit of a down year, but the offense in general is having a down year. Mooney is, he's good, but of course, once again, their offense is struggling hard. Jimmy Graham is, returning to his old Jimmy Graham ways, not in the good way. Cole Kmet will be the starter here for us. He's a pretty good value player. Horsted, who's been really good, or was really good in preseason, I believe got his first touchdown recently enough. Obviously, offensive line has had injuries, and even before the injuries, they had an issue called being not very good, so we'll definitely have to work on that as well. What an issue. What a technical term. Of course, Khalil Mack is still really good. I don't know if I would say regressing, but, I mean, he hasn't played as well as he has first year for Chicago, but still really good, right? Like, he's still one of the top 3, top 5 edge rushers in the league at this point. Just slightly down. Like if we give him a 95 out of 100 when he was, a Chicago Bear year 1, I'd probably put him at like a 91 now, which is still really insane. Of course, Robert Quinn, even though he's 77 overall, has actually, played decently well as of late for Chicago, but of course you can see here he's really bad in games, so you're stuck with a really bad contract and a very bad old player, which is why, once again, I said they're not that bad in real life, but in Madden, they're one of the worst, right? Like, you can't argue that. Eddie Jackson, I'm going to be honest with you. I actually liked him, even as a Packers fan, out the gate. But, man, he's kind of been overrated in Madden as of late. He really hasn't played as good as, and of course, you can see that his overall has already dropped. I think he started like 89, 90 or something in Madden. But he's been a little overrated in the game. I'm going to be honest with you. He's definitely been overrated a little bit. What else do we have? So defensive line, Akeem Hicks, he's played all right, but once again, there was debates that they were going to try to trade him, maybe release him because of his number, and their cap is, not a great situation there either. Bilal Nichols has been meh, and Eddie Goldman, I believe, he had a pretty good week last week, but overall, the interior of that line hasn't been up to the usual Chicago standard. Of course, Jalen Johnson has been a bright spot to this very weak cornerback group. Of course, the big name Kyle Fuller is not there anymore. However, he hasn't played well with his new team. So at the end of the day, would he have played better in Chicago? Who knows? Obviously, they couldn't have afforded him, but it doesn't really look like, even though their cornerback situation is really rough, it was necessarily the worst situation to let him go. So, I mean, say what you want. The Bears are just kind of in an unlucky situation with a couple of their drafts not really hitting too well. But got to give him credit for Justin Fields. Hopefully he worked well. As a Packers fan, hopefully we'll talk about that some other time. But speaking of hopefully you guys enjoy this video. And if you find out you do, whether it's now, later, whenever, 2 weeks from now, maybe leave a like. Maybe subscribe. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel PK Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams that I have lacked on lately. Justin Fields is making his debut this week. Great performance. I did actually give them force wins, I believe, and losses. Just because, that's the way. I don't want to do it, like, based on real-life roster, even though maybe I just should, because it's probably easier and more realistic that way. But, yeah, I guess we probably should just do that going forward, shouldn't we? But I'm pretty sure, yeah, we gave the right ones. So, yeah, fair enough. So what was this? Was this going to give him a chance to go up in dev, or what was that all about? Anyone want to, like, fill me in or something? And it seems like Khalil Mack is looking to retire, which is, I will say that considering the contract situation he's in and the fact that the Bears do kind of feel like they're a bit out of being a Super Bowl contender, not the most unrealistic thing in the world, but also something that I'm hoping isn't going to happen, right? Of course, we do play 2 games here that are automatic wins, which is nice, so I might also change the scheme up. I kind of want to run like Baltimore. I want Fields to run. Like, he really should run more. Not that it matters anyways. The scheme's really bad for Devin up anyways. Hey, we got the win, so maybe we'll get some XP. They were like, you want to step up? And I was like, Justin Fields or the team. It's like, yeah, let me out my rookie quarterback that we spent a ton on to get. Smart idea. I think let's blow this guy's confidence straight out of the water. Let's kill him, honestly. And please tell me, crisis in confidence. We won, though. Hello? What is this about? Hello? I haven't been as productive. I mean, I want you to do well, right? Like, you and Allen Robinson could be great. Assume we can even afford Allen Robinson. If you don't get 100 yards, that's on you, buddy. It was a close game. Might have actually got... Oh, crap. I forgot about this. Please tell me Mooney just got it. Because otherwise, once again, we've cheated for 4K XP. All right, 377 yards. Hey, we didn't cheat. Obviously, I put him at the number 1 and the number 1 slot for slot as well, which is... I mean, kind of the only way you're going to get this anyways, so yell at me all you want, but at least he got it. I mean, we've done that pretty much every time ever, doing a a breakout like that for a wide receiver, and it doesn't always work. It's probably like a 30% chance to win, and he did it. Of course, this also was for Mooney, so this is like a double win. I want to be happy, but at the same time, the win is what matters most. Okay, what do we get? Some, like, love? He's in good spirits. Wow, man, thank God for that, am I right? I'm scared. I'm scared. Please, don't leave. We won. I'm feeling like, oh, okay. Okay, Khalil. I appreciate it. I'm going to be honest with you. Very, very lucky that we are going off of real life here because I'm going to be honest. Some of those games, very losable, so we could have lost Mack. I think it's impossible to lose him now. Even if we suck a bunch, he'll probably be like, oh, I'm feeling really sad, but he's not going to retire. Actually, maybe we can. I don't know. I just hope he doesn't leave. Yikes. Allen Robinson is worth it, but holy crap, that's a lot of money. Akeem Hicks, 31. Bilal Nichols, once again, in real life, he's, I like him here, though, so I'll be... Oh, we got money. Why does everyone have, like, unlimited money in Ultimate Team? In Madden, it seems. Or are the Bears going to be okay? Like, I feel like that's not the case, but James Daniel is one of the best linemen on the team, I suppose. Might as well give him the contract. Jakeem Grant obviously was traded for a 6th, 7th round pick from the Dolphins. I can't remember. And then, I mean, it's kind of really it, right? So might as well give Allen Robinson the contract. Could go to X Factor, lock him in for 4 years, and he'll be fine until 32. Glad he got the deal. I mean, this team cucked him enough. Glad that he gets the contract. He chose to come here. It's his fault if he's like not liking the direction of the team. You can't blame the direction of the team, buddy. You chose this team. But as far as money goes, at least he gets paid. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're about to lose Mack. We've lost like 3 in a row. He's retiring. He's 100% retiring. Okay. We couldn't just won 1 game? Like, is he just out already? Like, he's already gone. He's just gone. Well, that's fun. I love it. Sweet. Sweet. So, remember that time I was like, he can't leave? Well, he did. He's out of here. He's gone. Add another position of need to the squad. I love it. What a freaking wienerhead. So I gave Akeem Hicks a 1-year 15 with like $8.5 million of it guaranteed. I'm a little surprised he accepted it. Pretty fair deal by both sides. Even if he drops to like an 84, he's still worthy to start. Especially when you lose a guy like Mack. Yeah, this is already looking kind of rough. All right, playoffs. Are we in them? We are not. We got our contract extended. I'm not really sure why, but okay. I suppose. Yeah. Well, I mean. Can you really blame the Mac thing on us, right? Like, you kind of just pussed out on us. I mean, there's not really much we could have done about it. I mean, I suppose 8-9 is not really a great record for anyone trying to do a rebuild. Like, you don't get the playoffs. You don't really get a great pick. I don't even know if this team has their own first round. I think The Giants. No, they definitely owe their first round to the Giants, don't they? Yeah, we had to manually trade it because the game decided not to, I guess. The Baltimore scheme obviously did not work out for us, either to the EA servers. Nice. But here's the numbers for Justin Fields. Honestly, at this point in real life, that looks like, that would be a win for him. Rushing, David Montgomery was pretty good for touchdowns and yards, but yards per carry were low. Receiving was awful. Thankfully, Mooney's superstar just because of a breakout, but man, that was really bad. Wow, that's terrible. Robert Quinn with 7 sacks. Roquan with a 5-pick season. Jalen Johnson with 5 picks could go to superstar, which would be huge, considering this team is missing quite a bit of positions, honestly. Losing Mack on top of just having a team that needed a lot still doesn't help. And Justin Fields, of course, the Offensive Player of the Year. What else? And Cairo Santos, Kicker of the Year. Sweet. Trying to think of any of the dev-ups we may have gotten or earned. I mean, maybe Jalen Johnson and Roquan. Outside of that, though, I can't imagine. And it's nice to see a new team set, though. The Panthers win the Super Bowl over the Chiefs. That's a win. It's a win for us, especially the NFC side. Dev-ups, none on offense. Really would have loved to see Montgomery because of the touchdowns, but apparently not. And then defensively, really nothing but Quinn. That's, I don't, I'm not, okay, just saying, just that's all I'm saying. Do I force the ratings of Quinn to be a little bit higher, because we're stuck with him for a while? I'm going to. Why not? Why not? Yell at me all you want. We bumped up a couple of ratings and made him a 79 overall, which I think is, obviously fair. Is there anyone we can get rid of, like Danny Trevathan? He's been here for a while, really hasn't. See ya later. $5 million for that production and injuries? Nah, pal, you're slow. He's like 72 speed or something. Maybe, honestly. So Tayshaun Gibson, a lot of these guys have regressed so hard. They paid for Jakeem Grant because Chicago's always kind of loved having good special teams. If they paid a draft pick for him, I guess I'll give him. Okay, you guys seen I tried. We're off the hook, but hey, we're off the. We tried, yay. Of course, we're losing some of the quarterback situation as well, which is kind of helpful. I wanted to get Horsted back, but a 2-year $7. Sheesh. We should be able to get rid of Jimmy Graham, though, right? I would hope. I'm just hoping there's some gods in free agency. Just be a god there. I don't care, dude. So $59 million to work with, maybe even more if we got rid of some of the guys that have contracts, speaking of. Von Miller. This Bears team is willing to pay money for a good edge rusher. Von Miller could be out in Denver. It wouldn't actually surprise me, but we'll see. Obviously, some pretty good wide receivers in Godwin and Devontae, but wide receiver's not big enough of a need for us to risk the cap. Could also go for Hassan Reddick, who signed a pretty cheap deal with the Panthers. Looks really good here. Do I want to pay that much for him, though? I don't know. He's good for a 3-4, obviously. Marcus Williams would be a nice contract. How much do we spend in free agency? I also don't know about Dante Jackson. You can obviously see that he could be gone in real life, just for the simple fact that they seem to have every single corner from every single roster ever on their team. So, there's that. DJ Chark's a free agent. Some really good free agents here, actually. Vaughn is a very good player. But, I'm thinking you can wait a week for Vaughn, and if you don't get Hassan Reddick, you can just go back for him, right? That, I think, is the smartest call. And the Chargers are looking to spend some money on Marcus Williams, which would make them quite good in the secondary. Let's see how much they're paying. They're not paying that much. Let's think about it. We'll think about all this. Wait, Jack Fox has superstar? That's kind of weird that he's only an 82 overall, but he's superstar. Interesting. Oh, Jimmy Graham's gone. That's not good, because I thought we were going to have a bunch of money to get rid of in a moment. Okay, well that sucks. Oh, did we have to pay him and he just we didn't pay him? I didn't realize he was going to drop that low in overall. Fair enough. So of course the plan is to have Tevin Jenkins start. But we're still not in the clear for linemen, obviously. Be nice to add someone even Ben Jones would be kind of clutch. I wouldn't say like we're ready to win next season, but you just never know. We have a couple of decent players. You might as well build for the team. Wow, Schwartz is really bad in the game now. You might as well build for the team to be, decent. Isaiah Wilson, do you give him a shot? Do you give him a shot? Massive potential, but can you save him? I don't know. All right, we offered on a lot of names. Some great, some not great, and we got all of them except for Williams. Williams was kind of like a... we need a starter at strong safety, but there's a lot of options. He was kind of the big name guy, whereas we didn't really need him. We could have held off. So we do have a couple of other offers still alive. Vaughn would be great, but don't need him that much. Kareem Jackson could be kind of like a Tayshaun Gibson type signing, as right now that's kind of the only option left, and I think we're going to pay him. That's too much. I'll give him a $4 million if he wants it. That's basically the best I'm willing to do. If I had to start a rookie, I'll start a rookie. I ain't paying no $9 million for a 34-year-old safety. Damn, we got a freaking 8.0 wide receiver. He looks pretty good. Don't know if I would say he was an 8.0 combine grade good, though. All right, see if we get any of our other offers. We actually do. We get our center for $4 million. And Alec Ingold was like a 2-year 6, I believe. It was not actually that bad, but okay. I mean, we got some free agent names. We didn't blow every single dollar we had. I mean, it's not that bad. Also, another huge win, Kareem Jackson on that 1-year 4. Of course, we did not get Wilson. Hoping to grab 1 or 2 linemen in the draft, though. It's not the strongest class in the world, but it'll do. The Bears are killing me here. It's a first and a 4th. They don't even... Oh, maybe they already did it. Maybe they already did the 4th, but not the 1st. Jeez, man, what a disaster. We're going to cheese him and take a 7th next year. Lol, got him. Got him. But yeah, we are obviously not in the market to trade up, as we could barely even draft players at this rate. But there's still some decent players in the second round. Got to keep an eye on those guys. It'd be nice to get Mason Lafferty. Looks like an absolute cold stone killer. He's just a beast. We don't really need a safety that badly, but this guy still is looking very primed for us to take. Late second, we have this guy, Juan Crawford, early third. Do you draft for greed or you draft for need? This cornerback looks really bad in this class, gotta admit. I mean, realistically, like, what do you do? Like, you maybe trade up for 2 third-round talents and hope one of them's good. Like this guy, Shamir Harvey, looks decent, but that's not the guy, actually. This is the guy. Greg Alexander looks decent, but he wouldn't start year 1, So do you take a guy that's not going to start the first year when you have needs that you need to fill for the first year? I don't know. It's a tough decision. I think we take the combine skipping safety at 15 if he's there and make a trade up for a center, which obviously, if he's big enough, can play a different position. Sergio Wakefield, 6'4", 207, could even play linebacker. I'm going to take him just for that prospect alone. Please be hidden. He is 74 overall normal. He's a good player, and I think he actually will play middle linebacker for us. I think this is kind of the way the NFL is rolling anyways. 6'4", 207, a little underweight, but as far as, the height goes, he's over height. And, of course, insanely fast, really good hit power. And his block shedding for a safety is actually really high. So we trade up 6 spots to the Falcons to grab this center, using a 6th this and a 7th next year, which, of course, is quantity. Not crazy quality, but enough when you consider the quantity. And hopefully this center is good. I don't think he's going to be playing any tackle, maybe some guard, though. We'll see. Will Bolden, please be good. And he is also normal development trade, but obviously absolutely insane. 85 run block out the gate, 85 impact. He's kind of godly. Just, once again, no hidden, which hurts, but it could have always been worse. Could have been normal with like 72 overall or something. Do we trade a 3rd round next year for 115 and a 6th from the Seahawks? Of course, if we're a really bad team, that's an L for us. But if we have even close to what we are now, which we have improved the team technically, I think that'll actually be a huge win for us down the line. This pick, I think, is going to be going to the guard, Brian Hampton, 23. I like the talent grade. Could be a sneaky little hidden. Please be a sneaky little hidden. And he is a sneaky little hidden. Absolute W. Once again, a little undersized again, but Left guard, right guard. I mean, we'll have a spot for someone somewhere. And Alex Johnston's still there. Looks like a decent player. 6'4", could use another tall guy. Why not? And it's because he's low overall. That's why not. Of course, aggressive catch. Good jumping. Decent speed, I suppose, for a 6'4" guy. What's his weight? 226. Can almost debate a tight end. Not quite. It's a little ticky-tacky from there. But let's move on to the 6th round. We had a middle linebacker if he's still there. He was like a late 7th, I think. So if he's not there, I'm going to be kind of disappointed. And he's gone. We'll take the last guy that we have that's even okay. B.J. Johnston, another Johnston. I'm just going to avoid the name Johnston going forward. Get a 6 from the Buccaneers next year for that 7th round pick. Of course, no matter what the Buccaneers do, even if they win the Super Bowl, that's technically a win for us. We're automatically moving up 15, 16 spots for next year. And it could be better than that, obviously. Let's take a look at the draft recap if the game didn't die, because obviously you can see there it wouldn't let us advance. So we drafted 5 players. We didn't reach too hard in next year. Obviously, we cost ourselves a 3rd round pick, but we ended up getting a starting offensive lineman automatically. Of course, regression, we don't worry about that. Brian Hampton was the only hidden development player we had. He was 23, so anything under superstar is, fair and realistic, but not crazy. And of course, he is only star. Was there anyone we left on the board? There really wasn't anyone, because obviously we were all the way down in the 2nd round. What could we have done? Maybe a different safety instead of Wakefield. Could have went with, I don't know if this was one of the guys. I doubt it. He's pretty slow. 85 speed, 86 excel. I have no idea, but it really wasn't anyone that was like a must-have, trade the whole damn squad to get player. Well, at least where we were at. I wasn't going to trade all the way up into the 1st round. That would have been absolute draft suicide. What are we, the Rams? So here's the roster for year 2. Not that bad. We did end up moving Bolden to tackle. He did go up in overall. I suppose not everyone has to be a 6'5", 305-pound physical god specimen. He can fit the bill, right? He's kind of got the size. As far as everyone else goes, Allen Robinson actually did regress, it seems. It's kind of harsh. Speed! That's not good. That's far from good. Mooney's obviously got a huge, bright future. Fields should. Montgomery should. The team should be in a good spot next season. Wakefield could go back to safety next season. Kind of depends on what we need. Goes down to a 71, which is still really solid, obviously, for a middle linebacker. I'm cool with it. Cornerbacks, Dante Jackson, huge addition. Cornerbacks are just fine that way. It's a decent year 1 bandage team. We still need more drafts going down the future to see if we can actually turn this thing around a little bit. So we have some guys to re-sign here, several that are actually pretty expensive, but Roquan, definitely not a guy that's easy to find, and we're going to obviously give him the contract, a 5-year, $76 million, which is a lot, but fair. David Montgomery, the yards per carry haven't been great, but he is a good running back, so we're going to give him the 5-year, $38. Akeem, it worked out last time, the 1-year deal thing, but I don't know, dude. I think he might be past his prime. 32 years old, star dev in Madden. He's so good, though. Can I do another one of these? We'll get to that later on. But yeah, a bunch of backups outside of that though. Playoffs. Are we in them? We won, and we are. We must have gotten one of the last spots possible. Was it a 3-division team? 3-division wildcard team thing. We did. Number 7, the Packers play the Vikings at number 6 and 3. That is nutso mode. I'll show you guys that we didn't, force any wins for ourselves or anything like that. We went with the Tampa Bay playbook on this one. Kind of a bad ending, or middle, I suppose. Really good start, 4-2, 5-2, something like that, and then lost a bunch. Picked it up, though. Did just enough. And here we are with Fields, who should go to Superstar. 43 touchdowns, 11 picks, 4,600 yards. Just over 1,000 yards from Montgomery. 4 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. Receiving Robinson, please go to X Factor, baby. Mooney could also go to X Factor. Cole Kmet, not bad. Blocking is okay for a Bears offensive line, I suppose. 3 guys over 100 tackles. Wakefield should go to star. He had a really good season. Robert Quinn, do we force his overall up higher? I don't know. Hassan Reddick, first year with us, not bad. Pick totals 4 for Wakefield, like I said, if he doesn't go up in dev. Look at this, 3.5 sacks, 4 picks, 122 tackles, 3 tackles for... I mean, he had himself a year. A lot of interceptions for this Bears team that obviously loves to take the ball away. Let's take a look at kick return, punt return. Herbert and Cohen didn't get any touchdowns, but obviously not bad for the yards. Offensive rank wasn't super great, but you got to assume defense was decent. Looking at the award wins, Offensive Rookie of the Year, no. Wakefield, obviously. Defensive Rookie of the Year. The Lions almost did it again. I didn't even realize that. They almost did it again. They almost went winless on the year. But hey, Chicago back in the postseason. As a Packers fan, I love to see it, obviously. It's cool, man. But Dallas, not an easy team to beat. We're an 82 overall. They're an 84. This could be rough. This wouldn't be like the craziest upset in the world, but I mean, I wouldn't expect it, right? Like, I would expect Dallas beats us, but we'll see. 7-0, 7-all. Not really a huge, scoring first half. 14-all. Okay, I guess they've heated up a little bit. Up by 7. Okay, I like it. Up by 4. Only up by 1 after a turnover by the offense. It would appear they're now up by 3. This is a close game. We're down by 3. This is a very good matchup. Choked by the offense, but picked by the defense. Up by 4. They get the touchdown. Okay, they're going to choke this away. I'm spamming the timeout button because I just don't trust the game. I think the Bears could get into field goal range, but they wasted 25 seconds on the first play with 3 timeouts. Does that seem to make a lot of sense to you? Because it doesn't to me. Just saying. Robinson over the middle. Maybe we just throw that up to Komet. Oh, that would have been nice. But yeah, perfect blocking or perfect coverage, I suppose. Pretty good blocking, speaking of them. This is a pretty good look, actually. But we're kind of looking for Johnson. And that's just kind of a force in there. Oh, he's got to catch that. You simply have to catch that. And now it's a Hail Mary. Wow, I choked it. Maybe they were better off without me, I guess. I get that, Robinson goes over there on his own. Why is this doing this? Is it because they're in the momentum or something? It's like messing up my hot route things. I mean, I'll take the 1-on-2. Ah, damn it. There goes the season, unfortunately. Definitely not the greatest way to end the season on a game-losing Hail Mary, but of course you could see Fields did not play the... he grinded. He didn't give up, but just too many mistakes by the offense, simply put. There was a lot of plays where the momentum shifted completely pre-half because of interceptions and whatnot. I mean, you can't expect to win in the playoffs if you're throwing interceptions to D-linemen. I'm sorry, you just can't. You just simply can't. All right, speaking of the Cowboys, they're in the Super Bowl going up against the Chiefs, and the winner of that one is the Chiefs. But, of course, we would just have to face against the NFC representative for the Super Bowl first week, just so we don't win anything. And, hey, Justin Fields, my dude, as expected, goes to superstar. Of course, we kind of thought that Allen Robinson would go up, and he did. Middle linebacker, I'm sorry, I gotta force it. Wakefield, obviously, not only did he just win Defensive Rookie of the Year, but he was actually one of the best players in general. He was actually insanely good. I don't know why his ratings didn't go up way higher than they did, though. Anyone else on defense? Dante Jackson thought maybe there was a chance. Yeah, I mean, that's kind of just everything. As far as Robert Quinn goes, I think he deserves to be at least back up to an 80. I don't want to keep doing this forever, but maybe, this is the last season we do this for. I don't know. Wonder if we can actually get rid of him, speaking of. Wait, what dropped on him? Awareness? Speed? Why is he such a low overall? Whatever, he's a 78 overall then. It is what it is. Close enough. See, the thing is, Akeem looks pretty solid here still. Even though he's a lower overall, I'm willing to give him the same deal. I'm willing. He wants 7. I'm offering way more than that. Whatever, dude. See, well, the good thing is we have a ton of money. So even if we lose like one player, that's fine. We can afford to replace him. So free agency's not looking crazy great here. We have Von Miller, Zadarius Smith. It's looking pretty bad, if we're going to be honest with you. Maybe a safety like Jordan Poyer. There's not really much. Maybe we'll get some backup, but I don't imagine we're going to find many like starting replacements around here. Not guaranteeing that he's going to be the starter, but Julian Love, not a bad signing. A 4-year, $20 million deal, 25 years old, has some time to develop. So we have pick 20 in the first round. Joey Brown is probably the number one guy, as he's obviously a perfect scheme fit. He's a perfect player fit. He's just a good player. Larry Knox is pretty solid. There's a couple of offensive linemen that look good, but we really only need one going forward unless Tevin Jenkins isn't the guy. This George Thomas looks really good as a corner, but we have Dante Jackson. We have Jalen Johnson. I just don't see where he would start. Like, he would be the number 3 and be a great number 3, but a third corner probably doesn't outweigh a number 1 defensive lineman. So I think we're going to try to trade this to the maybe even first pick in the second round and see if we can add some value to the team. So Jacksonville is willing to give us 29 and a second plus a fourth. You cannot deny that. That is an insane trade. It's across the conference as well. It's just a win. And they take a wide receiver. Obviously, they just lost Chark, so maybe not the worst call in the world. A tight end for the Giants, interesting enough. They took a quarterback, pick 1 overall last year. The cornerback is obviously gone, but Joey Brown's still there. Maybe even a little early, but he looks great. We got to go for him. 74 overall normal. Like, he's normal. Why? Once again, if he gets a breakout early, I'm not mad. It's actually a win, but if he doesn't, then it's a fat L. Bert. So Larry Knox is a great safety and all, but if he's not there at 20, I'm not going to worry about it. I can't trade up for a safety. We just technically don't need. But he is there still. Looks pretty solid. I'm willing to take the risk. And 73 overall hidden. I know we paid Love a decent bit of money, but I think you got to start Larry Knox. I'm sorry. If he had better man coverage, you could be a freaking corner with that catching, but he doesn't. So unfortunate. So middle linebacker is kind of a need, but once again, D-line is still probably the primary need. So we're going to go with Chris Jennings now after the other guy. And of course, another normal. I don't know if they updated drafts, which is technically downgrading them because obviously they're worse, but I've been taking a little bit of L's lately. I think, actually, to be fair, like I said earlier in the year, I think next gen does have technically worse classes, but obviously with how OP last gen is, maybe it's not worse, but more fair, I would say, because we definitely get worse talented players when we draft on next gen. It's not even a question. And man, those middle linebackers look good, but we just don't need them. We just simply don't need them, so we're going to pass on them. And both of the linemen are gone. They were late fifths, and they're both gone. That's an L. That's an L. I should have just played it safe and just traded up really high. I don't know. But Jerry Byers, why not add him to the squad? And he is hidden. So I'm really glad we didn't go for that corner earlier. Well, I mean, I don't know. Because if he's Superstar or X Factor, maybe, I'm not really glad. But yeah, I suppose it's, we got a good number 3, I guess. I don't know. And then we're also going to take this safety, Dwayne Hartwell. Don't even need him, but he looks decent, and I don't get it. I really don't. I mean, these are not the players that I were expecting to be hidden. But like I said before, once again, dev-ups, if you get them early, normal to star, it's not the worst thing in the world because you get that huge XP bonus. So we're just going to, take it with the positives and really wish we would have got just one lineman. One of those two were probably hidden. And, of course, the game says, nah, we're going to make him go early. Sorry. We take a kicker for the future, Jonathan Goodrich, and he looks really good. Rich. The two players that we got that were hidden, actually, no, we did get Knox as well. Knox is a starter, so we'll take a look. But everyone else, it really doesn't matter too much. Let's take a look, though, where they draft recap. I can't remember everyone's name that we kind of had a chance to get, but yeah, once again, not a great draft from us. I mean, they're good players. They look great. But the devs just aren't there. Please be just like an X Factor. And, of course, he is star. Nice. What else do we have? So, Jerry Byers, he's 21 years old, 6 foot tall. Not a bad little sneaky steal. Probably also going to be star. Number 3 corner going forward. Probably will never get the number 1 spot or number 2 spot. Or he's a superstar. Still probably won't get the number 1 or 2 spot, but maybe trade fodder in the future. I don't know. Hartwell, thank God he was hidden because he's 23, so he's really not very useful if he wasn't hidden, especially for a backup. But I mean, yeah, we could have gotten better, I suppose. But it is what it is. Where was the corner? So here's Thomas, hidden development as you expect, 75 overall. Not great, good catching, but the agility sucks. His speed's decent, his excel's decent, but the agility's really bad. And Obviously, with that height, you kind of want the agility. Only star, I do not. I mean, our guy was literally better. Like, simply put, he was literally better. And then once again, for these, I mean, there was some options at lineman, I suppose. Ricky Rice might have been one of the guys. Wooten, yikes, especially since he's 23. Like, I don't remember. There weren't very, like, memorable names, so I just don't remember them by name. All right, so here's the roster for year 3. I am now officially recording this post-scouting update, and this is going to be the last rebuild where we actually do a, pre-scouting update rebuild, which I'm a little worried about doing a rebuild with the new scouting update. I ain't gonna lie, it's a little spooky because it takes a long time to do the scouting stuff. But obviously, this is what the team looks like. We ended up getting Hassan Reddick, obviously. I mean, I wish we would have got some devs on our rookies, but it is what it is. Knox is a decent starter, I suppose, and we got the superstar Byers, I believe, was superstar corner, right? Could have been better, but obviously we look like we're on the right tracks. Justin Fields is a superstar. Things look like they're going to be good this year. So Jalen Johnson's a higher overall than I thought, especially for a guy that's only a start of elementary player, but a 6-year 92 for a guy that is just a clear-cut starting tight end or cornerback god. Very strange that they actually worked on zone for him rather than man, but hey, it's cool to see something change up for once. Mooney is going to get a 5-year, just about 80, another really expensive contract for us to sign. Cole Kmet hasn't been absolutely insane, but even if we found someone better down the line, that's not crazy bad money for a backup. I mean, the average tight end salary in here is like $2 million per year. This is like, what, 6.5 or something like that, so not that much more. Tariq Cohen really doesn't play ever. Cairo Santos, pretty good kicker. He's actually been kind of the saving grace of the Bears. They've had kicker issues for a while, and then he came around, and he's been pretty solid for them. Vildor is not a bad backup, but a lot of these guys are, just like we just said, backups. Eddie Goldman, what's his finesse? Oh, he's really not that good, though. He's like not very goodman. I don't know, we're just going to sign him. Whatever, he's 29. He'll be a decent strength guy. I don't even know, dude. I'm not sure how he's such a high overall. It just baffles me. Like, Akeem Hicks is super low overall, but really, really good. And then Goldman's a high overall, but he's not super great. We also lost to the Lions twice this season. Bilal Nichols, superstar development trait, my guy. That's a win. That is a W. And as you probably already seen, we're not off to a great start. I don't think this is going to be a playoff season, but we'll see. Did we win a bunch of games or not? We finished 6-11 with this squad. Really? That is surprising. I'll be honest, that is surprising. We'll take a look at the the wins and losses. Wow, we lost 6 in a row. We lost to the Lions twice, like I said, which is just laughable. Literally one of the worst teams in the entire league at this point, with injuries and just not having that great a roster talent to begin with. That's laughably bad by EA, but cool, man. Fields did all right. Yeah, we sucked. Montgomery was pretty decent. Robinson was pretty good. Johnston, okay, out of nowhere. Mooney, pretty good. Cole Kmet, not bad for a tight end, about 800 yards, 9 touchdowns. O-line played pretty well. So what? The defense is just like the worst ever? Hassan Reddick had 14 sacks. How did we not make the play? What? Am I missing something here? Am I off my medication? What is this? So 17th in offensive yardage, which is what we had previously. 16th. I mean, those are both numbers that are actually kind of shocking to me. 19th in points scored. We must have been like dead last in points allowed. 15. So I guess it makes sense that we miss, but maybe not 6-11 miss, like an 8-9 miss or something like that. The Chiefs went 16-1. Mahomes gets the MVP award. There would have been nothing we won, right? Like Hassan Reddick, best linebacker, sweet, but we really didn't. Wow. Like, do you really have to use the Chiefs playbook at all times? Like, is that the only way you succeed in a rebuild? I am surprised. I am really surprised. The Panthers and the Chiefs, shocker, some of the best playbooks in the game make it to the Super Bowl, and the Chiefs win 52-35. Any dev-ups? Dave Montgomery would be clutch, but I don't expect it. No dev-ups on offense. Defensively, Hassan Reddick does go to superstar. Of course, Bilal Nichols got his dev-up earlier. And then Robert Quinn is basically just gone at this rate. But, okay, I mean, Hassan Reddick gets mid-zone KO. Maybe under pressure, I suppose. Let's go with under pressure and edge threat, I guess. Because, I mean, he is an edge threat, right? Look at these ratings. 92 finesse. Has a chance to get even more right here. 89 overall for speed rusher. Going to get +2 here. It's cool. Okay, or not. Excel. Although, I mean, those are great upgrades and all, but still. Clutch dev up, though, for Hassan Reddick, who is 29 years old now. Very clutch. But yeah, not super great dev ups in general, but I suppose we did get some overall ups. And next season, we're looking pretty primed. You know, it was kind of the year where we're like, okay, let's see the direction we're in. And we got a lot of upgrades, like we said, and it's looking good for year 4. All right, we have 25 mil left. We let go of a few backups, but nothing too major, in my opinion. This is what the offense is looking like, so maybe look for a right tackle. I think we're fine there, though. Always looking for upgrades, but overall, I don't know if there's going to be anyone we can get to upgrade the team. But, yeah, I mean, this is just a team that's kind of underperformed a little bit, which has obviously resulted in our ratings not going up as high as they should. The corners are really solid. We obviously have a number 3 cornerback that's superstar. He's a god. Nichols probably doesn't matter too much they got to superstar, but I suppose it's clutch anyways. Eddie Goldman, we probably need a replacement for him. Brown was not quite what I was expecting, but, you know, it is what it is. Linebackers are fine outside of Quinn. We definitely need a new replacement for Robert Quinn. How old is his money? I don't know what that means, but he's gone. See ya. Save another 10 mil, so 34 mil to work with, and honestly, maybe you debate just getting a guy on the outside that's guaranteed to be good, similar to Hassan Reddick, which obviously worked out pretty well. And is there someone like that? We have Terran Armstead here. He's 33. He's asking for 21 per, which is a little too much for me. Justin Tucker, do not need him. Aaron Rodgers, don't need him. Johnny Hecker, we don't need him. Claypool will be clutch, but don't need him yet. So, you know, just not at all. Anyone at all on the edge, like even like an 80 overall, just to guarantee we have someone there in case we don't grab someone in the draft or they suck. I would have grabbed Shaquem Griffin, but he cannot move to the other side because EA is like, I don't want us to get exposed for him not having, which hand is it? Left, right? I don't know. One of his hands are missing, but yeah, you could still get a one-handed pick with it, which is just laughably bad. That's just, I mean, I got to imagine if he sees that, even he would laugh, right? Like, maybe it's insensitive, my bad, but like, if I was missing a hand, then again, I don't know what it's like to miss a hand, so maybe I'd actually be really sad about it, but I feel like it would be, even that, it would be like, okay, dude, like, come on, bruh, really? I don't know, I'm just saying, I know me pretty well, I think I'd laugh. Simply put, that's all I'm saying. Didn't I do, like, a really, like, insensitive video? I don't remember when it was, like, when he was a rookie, I made a video, like, something about, would Shaquem Griffin be better with 2 hands rather than 1? God, what an idea, dude. Just, I mean, talk about just being ahead of the times, I tell you. But in fairness, it kind of exposed the game. You know, they made it such an emphasis that they don't want the animations to be exposed, but instead they got their freaking logic exposed. I know it's not something you're going to spend a lot of development time on, but I mean, I would assume he would be better if he had to. I'm just saying. I'm sorry, Shaquem. We're not even using you, and you're just getting dragged here for absolutely no reason. This is a disgusting act. But yeah, on to the other disgusting act. This free agent class is disgustingly bad. Maybe debate going for Terran Armstead. I think we just save our money and assumingly pay whoever I would assume we have to pay. Yeah, I will say, this is quicker, obviously, but man, it is way too easy. I am kind of glad that we have the updated scouting. It makes, you know, it is a lot tougher. Let's just all be honest, and that's good because obviously you want something that's not like, oh well, I know who I'm drafting. You know, it's like, maybe do I? Who knows? I'm also you know, no problems for adding a bunch of crap onto the video that doesn't help anything, but makes the duration longer. So you know, hey, more ads. What? Sometimes I just like to talk. Okay, just. I would say leave me alone, but then that would result in you leaving the video, so don't leave me alone. You know what I'm like. Me alone by myself is scary, I guess. Damn, look at this guy, Rod Stern. This guy's like some sort of good player guy. He's literally like the white Justin Fields, right? Like very similar speed ratings. Throw power is pretty decent. He's 6'3", I'm getting Justin Fields vibes. I think he's going to be a very good player here. But it doesn't matter because we don't need him. Once again, more information that doesn't matter. You're welcome. All right, we have 7th pick overall, and we have a few players. Oh, who's this? Oh, this guy could be better than our guy, Edward Fairley. So we have multiple players. We have, well, let's put him on the list. I didn't think he was going to be there because he was in early first, I believe. But Edward Fairley looks really good too. But I kind of like this Benji Ellington guy a little bit more. It just seems like everything to do with power. Oh, he is power too. 29th in bench. Okay, so Edward is better in general, isn't he? Do we just take Edward now? 4.74. Benji is 4.64. I think we can trade down to the Saints. Let's try to get something off the Saints here. I think we can be able to get one of the two. I don't know. That Fairley guy does look pretty good, though. I think they're both good. We're going to sell. Every time I do this, we sell. And I'm not going to change it now. I'm willing to die here. I don't know what that means, but let's try to get this trade off. I would do this. It's a win, right? Oh, come on, bro. Please. Quarterback, no. Middle linebacker, no. Left outside linebacker, no. Left end, maybe, no. Okay, I guess. Oh, here we go. B.J. Johnston, welcome to the Saints. It worked out. All right, let's hope that both of the guys don't go. This would be a great trade-up for them to get Fairley if that's who they're going for. And they do, 75 overall. I don't know if I'm sad yet or not. And I swear if the Vikings steal my guy. They do not. We get a 3rd-round pick. We get the guy we originally wanted. I don't know. That Fairley guy did look really good. Russ Hurd, which, you kind of want to just say Ross automatically, is a great player too. Maybe even better for the outside. But I can't ignore that he's 317. So we're going to go with Benji Ellington. Please be a good player. And also 75 hidden. I'm kind of thinking that, okay, he's a little slower than I would have thought. Really good power move, though. Really good player. I'm glad with him. I'm kind of thinking that they're both 75 hidden and the other guy has better dev. That is going to be harmful to my my brain if that's the case, but we got a 3rd-round pick. If we make the 3rd-round pick count, I guess it's not that bad. Early 2nd. Oh, that guy looks insane. He's going to go if we don't take, like, I'm going to go up to, like, pick 27. We trade 39 and 74 for 27 and 155. Which, of course, will be used for that corner, assuming he's there. We'll always have somebody to go for if we don't get this guy. But I will say, we do have a DT that we must get. We'll make it work. We don't really need Lippett, but he just looks too good not to grab. So, David Lippett, welcome to the squad. And he's a 76 overall hidden, as we expected. Yeah, I mean, like I said, the thing I really don't like about the new scouting is how long it takes to scout and all that, and it's not simply just because of the depth that there is, which is, a part of it. It's just how clunky the, like, going in and out and having to check everything is, which I will admit kind of drives me nuts a little bit, but it is definitely better, and it was a huge need, obviously. Daniel Savage, that guy looks pretty good, but I suppose Tony Allison is our next choice, and we might not even actually have to trade up, but as the only player we have left, I am going to trade to the start of the 3rd and just not risk him. Only took a 6th-round pick. We'll take that, and we will grab this D2, who also probably will be a home run hit. Let's see. I'd imagine he just looks insane. Tony Allison, welcome to the squad, and no, he's the only non-hidden we had. A very good player, a very strange player, though. He's a DT. Right, yeah, he's 308, so he's, traditional DT type. But he has finesse and power with, like, kind of low block shed. He's kind of a strange character. I know how this game goes. Late 5th means, like, early to mid 4th. Zach Atkinson, steal coming up. Or not. Okay, I'm a little surprised by that, but obviously still decent for a 4th-rounder, but yeah, a little, okay, fair enough. A little bit of a twist and a turn. Oh, what's going to happen next? All right, maybe a little early for a fullback, but the guy looks good. We're going to take him. And Cassius Gallery. All right, not bad. Actually, pretty good truck, 83. And I'm looking for another one. I want them all, baby. 69 overall normal and kind of similar to the other guy, but obviously younger, so yeah. So, Benji Ellington, the new right outside linebacker for this team. Let's take a look at that development trade. Also want to see how the guy that we did pass on also looked. And Benji Ellington is a superstar. That's all we needed. I am happy with it. Lippett, who is already the number 4, which is, I mean, for Chicago to have this kind of a problem, not bad, right? Not bad. And he is only star, but once again, you got to take these guys when they're there, right? It's just, you have to. Plus, his zone was better than his man, if I'm not mistaken. So, if we do need a strong safety, yeah, I mean, we need a safety. Not sure if we do or not. I mean, good start for sure. The number 7 guy was Edward Fairley. He was also hidden, as you would expect. A little bit slower on the speed, but his excel was better. A little bit worse in the power move. I actually didn't look at the traits of our guy, but, you know, kind of expected traits. Let's see, is he a superstar or X Factor? If not, he's not better than our guy. Oh, we saved it. Got a 3rd round and got the better player. Here we go. It's year 4 now. And this is what the team looks like. Justin Fields looks like he's going to be taking the next step. Also going to be taking the next step in his financial future as he's about to crush the books here for us, which is going to be fun. Obviously, David Montgomery still hasn't gotten a superstar. Cole Kmet, I mean, unless he gets a breakout, he will not get a superstar ever. Tevin Jenkins got to be on the older side. 26 going on 27. The progression for him is not going to be super great. I think this is all going to be timed pretty well, though. I think if this isn't the year for us, next year could be the year, and that's kind of the window I'm looking for anyways. The next 2 seasons, especially paying, what's his name? Justin Fields. With some of the guys regressing, like Eddie Jackson. I don't know if Roquan, I think he'll be fine. 28 should be fine. Eddie Goldman losing some guys. I think this is kind of the year. Maybe next year could be the primed year. We'll see, though. Come on. Yeah, Joey Brown. Really disappointing to see him get normal dev, but obviously now star in his 2nd year and 10k XP on top of it. We'll take it. Near the end there, and they actually almost snagged the division right at the end. This is what it looks like for the season. Lost to the Patriots, lost to the Vikings, like we said. And then the 11-5 Colts, I believe it was, we beat. So pretty clutch win at the end as well. So it's not like we just beat some random teams. We actually did pretty well. Darnell Mooney had a great year. Justin Fields could go to X Factor. And I may have forgotten about renegotiations. That never happens. Oh, Cole Kmet. This is the year to prove that you can't get DevOps star to superstar. Even though we've already done a whole video on it. Maybe check it out, the freaking experiment. But, yeah, I mean, if I don't know. That's all I can really say. There's not much to say. You know, I tested a bunch of different things. Didn't work. So if we got star to superstar here, that would be... I don't know. They made an update or what's the story, but I can't imagine it's going to happen. Justin Fields with number 2. As always, you know, you're never going to win the MVP in any sort of way unless you're freaking a running back that's a god or, of course, Patrick Mahomes, basically. Got a couple of awards, got a couple of close call awards, and a bunch of guys that are going to leave us because we decided not to re-sign them. Love it. But I suppose outside of Fields, it's not the worst thing in the world. But here we are. Maybe, you know what? We're going to think positively about it. Maybe we don't need to worry about negotiations because maybe we're going to win it all right here. 89 overall to the 85 overall Panthers. They go to a lot of Super Bowls. They win a lot of Super Bowls. Who knows? Ooh, it's snowy. I mean, I'd imagine we have the advantage here, right? I would say. Pretty good running team. Very fast. Obviously, they have Christian McCaffrey, but... we have Dave Montgomery, right? 7-all, second quarter, up 3, the Panthers are. We are now tied with them. Come on, give me some points, baby. Nice, 7 up. I used to play that back in the day. 24-10, 31-10, 31-17, and we win. Okay, you know what I think about? I don't know if anyone's ever, I would assume you guys have played 7-up, but why was everyone excited to play that? Like, looking back on it, everyone wanted to play it, but it was kind of trash, right? Like, I don't know. All right, let's test this improviser theory. Okay, you get a throw power. I'm sold. Even though I should have went deep anyways, because he needs deep accuracy more than throw power. Yikes. Did David Montgomery become a freaking elusive back? Like a pure elusive back here? I would probably go towards power back, but at the same time, elusive back does give you those... Oh, that's a really good upgrade. They give you the speed and all that, which it seems like he got in a few of them, right? 89 speed's not crazy. I'd say he probably was similar to that in general, but fair enough. And of course, Mooney, He's actually like the complete wide receiver, by the way. A little bit of a slow start in this one, but overall very good right now. You can see super fast, great at catching. The only downside he really has is short route, but even that is 87. Maybe would like to be a little more jukey, but he's pretty good. James Daniels, probably should have went with power all the way, but I let the AI kind of roll with this one. I mean, we do have a pretty sick squad. It would not surprise me to win a Super Bowl here. Joey Brown, 86 power move. I mean, it's a really good team. Championship round, who is it? The Cowboys. They're not like as good as they used to be in Madden, but that's like the equivalency of seeing the Browns or the Chiefs for the AFC. It really is. It's the closest thing you can get. A lot of other teams are iffy. The Cowboys seem to always win. It's a cold night in Chicago. The Cowboys playing a dome, and they don't care. They're literally already leading. 7-all is the score. We hold them to a field goal. Their defense is better than ours. Is that something that we all agree with? Because I sure as hell don't. They literally had a sub 80. It's like the lowest overall I've ever seen on any side of the ball for a playoff team in like maybe rebuild history. Well, at least after year 1 or 2. Like this is year 4, and they're sub 80. They're actually gonna win this game. I don't care. I put a lot of time and effort in this. I've worked way too hard, and I don't care that this isn't for everyone. I don't use autotune, and the Cowboys do. And picked! There it is! I knew it was gonna be picked. Screw it, we want this touchdown anyways. And oh, nice moves actually, to be fair. And we're headed to the Super Bowl. Suck it, Dak. Terrible read. All right, let's see. Both quarterbacks, not super great, but obviously Fields was way better. Zeke tried to carry, couldn't do it. Mooney was good. Defensively, we had basically no pressure, as you would expect with a better team. Larry Knox with a pick. Eddie Jackson with the pick. The safety's coming in clutch. Cairo Santos, are you serious? Cairo's was from 50+, I guess, so it is what it is. We both teams missed, thankfully, and obviously their miss was easier than ours. So at the end of the day, we clutched up. We also got lucky. So the Chiefs are also, let's say everything. It means everything, right? Like let's not get ahead of ourselves. But the Chiefs are also 12-5. They have been here enough. They've won enough. It's time for a new era to begin. Look at the DevOps. Justin Fields is an X Factor. Mooney surprisingly doesn't go to Superstar. Of course, you can see that, or X Factor for him as well. Cole Kmet should have went to Superstar. Maybe we force it. I don't know, dude. I don't like it. Eddie Jackson, better late than never, my guy. Absolutely crushing. And of course, because he got Superstar before the season ended, I don't know if he's actually going to regress as much. If this would have been normal, he would have obviously regressed and then got his dev or whatever. But okay, we clutching up. We have a good team. But is it good enough to beat the Chiefs? We just played against a team that had no defense, and we struggled. The Chiefs actually have an okay defense here, apparently. This could be a tragic L to a great season. All right, Chiefs moving fast, but they only get 3, so defense did an okay job. Offense is doing its classical offensively things. What is happening with this offense? They move into scoring range multiple times, and they don't score. Like, do you mind? I thought it happened again. Defense is carrying so hard. Offense, please. Did we score a touchdown? We did. I don't know what it was, but I'll take it. Is that a pick? We win. Larry Knox, the defense, so clutch. Oh, the defense carried. How else would you want to win a Super Bowl if you're doing a Chicago rebuild, though? We hold the Chiefs, especially with our trash-ass offense, to 20 points. That is basically like holding the greatest squad of all time to like 5 points, basically. That I don't know if that's not true, but still, it was impressive, of course. We needed this W after that freaking Titans rebuild, I'm going to be honest. Of course, that was more of an EA fail rather than us. I know we didn't have the greatest drafts using the new scouting system, but overall, we definitely should have done better in there than we did. We definitely got cucked quite a bit on the RNG. And obviously here we are with Chicago hoisting that Lombardy. The old Lombardi. Obviously very impressive stuff. And Justin Fields is a Super Bowl champion. My guy. All right, looking at the passer rating, Mahomes was limited hard. Mahomes guy, not super great in the Super Bowl lately, it seems. David Montgomery and Fields outperformed their entire ground game. Clyde Edwards-Helaire was really bad in the receiving game. It wasn't a pretty performance from either side other than their sack department, I suppose. But we did enough to win, and that's really all that matters. But before we call it a rebuild, before we call it a success, before we call it quits, let's take a look at some of the ratings from these Chicago Bears. I also want to see the negotiations that we, kind of failed to complete. Darnell Mooney, actually not as high on overall as I thought. He's only a 92, but definitely looks like way higher of a 90 than a 92, right? Like, excuse me? Really bad ability, but of course unless that changed, the experiment we did a couple years ago with when the abilities first came out, exposed that the abilities don't matter in Sim. Deep route's not great for Allen Robinson, which is a little surprising considering he's just he's not really he can do everything. He can catch any deep route, but obviously he's not really technically a deep route kind of guy, so I guess that makes sense pure ratings-wise, but not that it really matters. He's a jump ball guru. Deep threat for passing for Fields, not great. Awareness never got up there, but what can I do, right? Like, awareness isn't something you focus on, right? Like, what would awareness be? I guess field general? But he's an 88 field general, but only an 83 or 80 flat awareness. It's kind of an L, I'm going to be honest. Abilities, he got bulldozer and inside. These random abilities, they suck. And the fact that you don't get abilities automatically is so broken. Like, do I actually go into my Raiders franchise and actually manually give abilities to people that may have gotten dev-ups? Like, that's so pathetic. Jalen Johnson, a very bright star on the kind of dimmed Chicago Bears defense as of late, ends up looking like this. Very impressive. Obviously, the man coverage is a little bad, but he's literally the greatest zone corner in the league, basically. Bilal, you thought I was going to say ever. I did too. Bilal Nichols, very good power rusher. He turned out pretty good, actually. I didn't think he was going to. I'm going to be honest. Eddie Goldman, it really doesn't matter. He's kind of on the regression side. Good block shedder. Dante Jackson, a guy that I would expect if he doesn't return to Carolina, which is very doable, like I said, or realistic. There's a lot of cornerbacks there now with the trades and all that they've done. Probably Fields a little bit more than we offered him, but still. Hassan Reddick, very good player, was a huge addition for us. Our pass rush sucked hard when Khalil Mack died, and then Hassan Reddick obviously came out and made some plays. Benji Ellington, right out the gate, just a really high overall. Eddie Jackson stayed strong for a while here, actually, and still is going strong. And that's pretty much it. Everyone else is kind of either, not developed yet, or I guess Roquan, I suppose, or not really a Bears player per se. Roquan's still going strong, but obviously the regression might hit him a little bit since he's still only star. But yes, I am very curious to see this this renegotiation period, or I suppose just negotiation period. It can't be renegotiations if we haven't even started them. I just want to see. Obviously, we're not going to do it, but I'm just curious. Well, I'll do it, but I'm not going to, it doesn't matter going forward. Justin Fields, not asking for that much. I don't know what the average is there, but it can't be near the top of the league, right? That's pretty low. Off the top of my head, I'll think, is it 32, maybe? That's not bad for a 26-year-old speedy X Factor, right? Bilal Nichols, super clutch. A 3-year is a lot, though, for a guy that's, kind of old, but sure, we'll keep you. Tevin Jenkins, I think you actually let Tevin Jenkins go. Even though you're losing a couple of linemen here, I think you saved the money on a 27-year-old that's only an 83 overall, especially since, if I'm not mistaken, he's really bad at pass blocking. Pass block finesse and pass block in general are awful. Obviously, pass block power is decent, but if you go against a finesse type, which there's a lot of them in the league on the edge, you're going to be in a bit of a spot. Dante Jackson, like we were just speaking of, we don't need him, but I want him. I would definitely keep him for another year. Lockdown corners, very hard to pass on. So we actually have a ton of money. It worked out. Didn't need to worry. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this one, maybe leave a like, subscribe if you're new. Always helps a lot. If you're not new and you've been watching for a while, I really appreciate the continued viewage. Maybe follow me on Twitter, Jeromepkr, second channel, PK Plays, and then twitch.tv/Jeromepkr for streams, which hopefully, let me think. If there wasn't one yesterday, maybe today? If not, tomorrow? I don't freaking know. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you guys have any suggestions for anything, rebuild team idea, challenge idea, blast in the pass idea, career sim, career resim, drop it in the comment section below. And that's about it. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you guys come back for the next video. But until next video, see ya!